forget. All right, perfect. So we've got some of you here on live, and then obviously, if you're catching this later on replay, I would love for you to message myself or message Reagan Nicole. She's Reagan Nicole on Facebook. Some of you guys have been speaking with her. Some of you guys have had a message from her, and I always love to make sure, well, she's here, so you guys can see her face, you can meet her. But I want you to know, like, if you do hear from Reagan, it's like hearing from me because she's an extension of me and she's helping me with all the things because I recognized over the years, like I can only do so much. And so I'm human and need that help. So if you do hear from Reagan, I just always love to make sure that the community is aware of who in the world is this Reagan girl messaging me. She is a part of our Fitness, Faith, and Macros team. Um, and um, and so, listen, I want to share because this is our first Friday call. And thank you for being on or catching this later on replay. I want to kind of explain why I decided to do this. And we're going to cover three things on these calls. I'm going to start off with giving you some expectations what to expect. I want to do kind of like a Fat Loss Fridays theme. I want to educate, like me and Coach Anita and Coach Lori. You'll see some of their faces popping on as we do more of these as well too. But it is our mission to impact more women in the world by educating you around fat loss and what really works, educating you on all the things, educating you on, yes, on programs that we offer, because I know Reagan can vouch for this. We have tons of questions all the time, and we try to get on individual calls with each person that wants info to individualize it to you. But at the same time, it's not always realistic for us to get on a call with you and you to get on a call with me because schedules do not coordinate all the time, right? And sometimes some women just may not be quite as comfortable because they don't know us yet or not. So again, that's also a piece of this. We're here to educate. So today I'm going to talk about some fat loss tips, some things that are going to be very basic stuff to get start that you could literally start right now today. If you're on a fat loss journey or a weight loss journey, I'll go into more details on that in a second. I'm going to answer a couple questions. We didn't have a ton come in this time because again, this call's new. And so I think we'll get more as we do more of these every Friday, same exact time, same place. We are going to do some calls as well that are around educating the women on our products because we also get questions all the time like, what is that you said? What are you talking about? So that's actually going to be the theme for next week. So those that are interested into learning more, we're going to talk about our recommended products that we recommend. But and if you don't know who the heck I am, I'm Angela Campbell, obviously. I am the founder of Fitmama Coaching. I'm the founder of the Fitness, Faith, and Macros community. And just a little background. I started Fitmama Coaching in March of 2020, and we've impacted so many hundreds of women's lives. And our Fitness, Faith, and Macros community is our free community. And we are on a mission to keep that group growing and keep pouring our heart and soul into that group as well on the free aspect. So thank you for being a part of it. Fat loss is what we're so passionate about. We're passionate about is helping women not just lose weight. If you can comment in the chat, comment in the chat. If not, definitely just listen along. Like we speak to women every single day that have done the dieting thing, right? Like they have lost and gained the same weight over and over and over. They have been through the journey of dieting. They've been through the journey of cutting out every single carb that they can because that's what they were told to do. They've been through the journey of working out crazy hours at the gym or at home or whatever, which for a lot of women, they overtrain and undereat, right? And that's one of the things that we're on a mission to help women be more educated so they don't fall through that crack, right? We talk to women every day, all day long that are trying to lose weight and they're so incredibly frustrated because they're working so dang hard and they're eating so crazy clean but they're not seeing a single piece of progress. And so that becomes crazy frustrating, right? Like frustrated is an understatement probably for some women. But at the same time, the women that gravitate to us in our Facebook group and have conversations with Reagan and me and Coach Anita and Coach Lori, and honestly, the ones that do end up typically going into maybe a coaching program with us, if they can financially invest, it is the women that are over the diets. They don't want to do diets anymore. They're now not so focused on a number. They're more focused on, I want to feel better. I want to feel good in my own skin. I want to mentally be able to function. I want to be able to keep up with my family. I want to be able to love who I see in the mirror, no matter what the number says on the scale, right? And so with that said, that's why we focus on a fat loss journey, not a weight loss journey. And I want to educate a little bit on what the difference in that is, right? Like um some of us are so focused on that scale. And on a fat loss journey, you will lose weight. Okay. You will lose pounds on the scale for most people. I'll be honest with you. Some people don't need to lose pounds on the scale. They just need to tone up, build some lean muscle, and shift their body composition. But if you're on a weight loss journey, what I want you to leave here today knowing is you can lose weight, but if you want to lose weight and keep it off, this is where we focus on fat loss. Like our programs are literally called Fat Loss and Mindset Reset Program for a reason. A lot of it does have to do with the mindset as well too. Fat loss is going to help you do certain things. The biggest piece of it, of course, is get the weight off that you've been struggling to get off, but it's going to help you keep it off in the process while you're also having more energy, you're having more mental focus, you're having more of a life. You're going on the date nights with your husband, maybe, or the pizza nights with your family, or a fat loss journey creates food freedom as well, too. And that's what we like to educate, teach. Fat loss allows you to live life, get results at the same time, and feel good in the process compared to all the diets out there that lead you to cutting out all certain food groups and missing out on the girls' nights, the date nights, the pizza nights, because that one thing is going to send you all the way back to the beginning of your program. So, oops, here comes somebody else on the call. So the biggest thing that I wanted to start with is just a little education around what the heck is the difference, right? Like, what is the difference in a fat loss and weight loss journey? Tips I'm going to talk a little bit about today. I'm going to talk a little bit about some nutritional tips. I'm going to talk a little bit about some fitness tips and then maybe some lifestyle stuff without overwhelming you. And then I am going to go through our 6-month program, 6 weeks, so I can educate you guys on what that is. If case you're watching that's on live, or some of you guys that watch later on replay are interested, you can reach out to me or even Reagan and get more info on that. But let's talk about fat loss tips, right? And at any moment in time on this call, a lot of y'all I know are at work, so we'll be listening in. You can ask questions in the chat. You can comment in the chat. Or if you're not comfortable doing either and you're just want to stay without your and just listen, like that's okay too. I just want everybody to feel comfortable at whatever level they can be on here. But let's go into, I want to talk about a few nutritional tips first on fat loss. And then I'm going to answer, let me go on the tips first and then I'll answer questions. I also want this to kind of be a casual call. I don't want to just be like talking at everybody all the time. So like sometimes I'm always talking at people. So let's talk about nutrition and fat loss. How many of you can honestly say, if you're comfortable commenting in the chat, how many of you guys have done every diet or maybe not every diet, but you've done some fad diets in the past? Keto, intermittent fasting, cut out all your carbs, Weight Watchers, all the things. Just drop me in the chat if you're comfortable sharing out loud. There we go. Yeah, many fads in my life. I love it. Thank you for sharing that, Reagan. So many diets. You too, Michelle. Yeah. And that's the and that's where a lot of people fall into. And that's okay. Like you're human. And that's why you're here more than likely, because you're in that place of like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm so over that. And not to mention it's overwhelming. There's 20 million thousand, I don't know. I'm just throwing out a really massive number. Diets out there in the world. That's what it seems like. That's what it feels like. And everybody's telling you to cut out your carbs, or everybody's telling you to go do intermittent fasting. Everybody's telling you to do the keto thing. And then I don't know, whatever the big fat is right now. Like they're all still there. I kind of stay in my own lane and like focus on macros, because those of y'all that are with us, some of you guys are actually already coaching with us and know this. We're big fans of macros for a few different reasons. Now, for some people, macros might be a little overwhelming if you've never done it. And that's where having a coach can definitely come in handy if you're able to do it, and why we feel so called to share a little bit more out loud what our programs are, which I'll share in a minute. But yeah, fasting is huge. Fasting, and here's my 2 cents. I always get asked, what is your opinion about intermittent fasting, Angela? I think it can work. Okay, I'm not here to tell you that the science and all the things is a lie. It's not. What I don't like about fasting is if you're not educated enough to do fasting correctly, and the women that we tend to gravitate having conversations with, the thing about fasting is it creates bad habits of chronically under eating. And if you can do it correctly, there's a lot of benefit to it. I know I have some really great friends that are health coaches as well. Like that's what they teach. But the key is they're teaching it. They're teaching people how to do it correctly. Fasting is a huge thing right now, Reagan. It so is. I don't see keto in my face near as much as I used to, but maybe that's just me and who I follow on social media and who I don't follow. um, but not to knock any of them by any means. The world is full of them, right? But the biggest thing I can tell you when it comes to fat loss and a nutritional tip, if you could take anything from today, focused on balanced nutrition. Balanced nutrition, what does it even mean? Well, that's really what macros is all about. Macros is, if you're, I'm going to talk to you guys like you have no idea what macros is. Macros is just a fancy word for macronutrients. And macronutrients is just basically breaks down the calories that you eat into proteins, carbs, and fats. Protein, carbs, and fats, if you have a balanced nutrition of protein, carbs, and fat in almost every single one of your meals, you're going to lead yourself into fat loss. Now, the key is knowing how much to eat, all that jazz, right? Like, well, that's going to be an individualized thing for each person. So I can't sit here on this call and say everybody needs 1,500 calories and 130 grams of protein and this much fat and this much carbs, because that's not true. Everybody's completely different. And I probably won't get into why today because I don't want to, I want to respect y'all's time. But balanced nutrition with a variety of foods. You got to get your proteins in there. Ladies, we have to have our carbs. Carbs are our friend. Put carbs are our friend in the comments so that that sets in. Like, I cannot stress enough. Carbs are not the devil. Carbs are not the things that are making us fat, and carbs are not what we need to remove from our body to lose fat, right? Like you can cut carbs out of your diet, your nutrition. You can cut carbs out of your daily nutritional routine and see the scale drop. But as soon as you put the carbs back in, it's going to come right back, right? Carbs are not the devil and they're not what makes us fat. Carbs are actually our body's preferred source of fuel. We need carbs in our life. You need carbs to be able to manage stress. If you're in a really high stress state of your life, the last thing that you want and need to do is actually go drastically low on carbs because your body and your fight or flight and your brain and all the things are not going to be able to keep up the stress as much. And then you have other health issues, right? So yes, carbs are the brain power and energy. I love that, Reagan. So when it comes to if you want to lose fat, balanced diet, balanced nutrition. I don't even like to use the word diet. Blah, get it out of my mouth. Jennifer, so glad that you hopped on, girlfriend. Um, Make sure you're eating veggies, healthy fats. I'm not going to go into numbers today because everybody is so incredibly different of how much you need. But if I could give any piece of advice on your nutrition right now, if you're in a journey right now, you're like, I'm lost, like I don't even know what to do. Then I would say I personally love, and this is honestly what we do in some of our programs. If you're new to macro counting, is we have you just track first. Let's just see what your baseline is. We got to see what your baseline is because if you come to us and you're only eating 800 calories a day, which is drastically under, then you are going to then you can't go from 800 to 1800 overnight. That's going to cause weight gain and so many other things. But yes, Reagan, if you got a question, unmute and share or drop them in the comments too, you guys, if y'all aren't comfortable
Yeah.
talking.
And I taught myself too included, but lately I've been having a lot of conversations with women who are really, really low carb. I'm talking iceberg lettuce, like lettuce that, really doesn't even have a lot of nutrients in it, which we all know the greener the lettuce, the better for us. The more color in lettuce, the better for us, the more nutrient it is. But I know so many women, and including myself, and I'm not going to single myself out of this, that are afraid of starchy carbs. Like, we just don't consume them for the exact reason that you're talking. I'm going potatoes, butternut squash, acorn squash. I myself can't do pasta because it's a grain and I do have an intolerance. But I mean, the way that I was always, you know, kind of taught is that if it grows in the ground, we should eat it. You know, if we grow it, we should eat it. But I too, and I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not gonna say that I don't. You know, sometimes starchy carbs do scare me.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think you're definitely not alone in that. Starchy carbs, we've been programmed over society to like, no, a potato. Oh my gosh, I can't do a potato, or oatmeal even, or breads or pastas. And here's the thing, like I think it's important to know your body. It's definitely important to know your body and what you can handle, right? Because in today's world, and I blame it all on like I won't go on that tangent, but just what's in our food and just so many different things have led to so many also like food allergies and different things, which is a whole nother video, a whole nother topic. Knowing your body and what works and what doesn't, right? But starchy carbs, it's not necessarily like a baked potato, for example. There's absolutely nothing wrong with a baked potato. The problem with a baked potato is if you go to that restaurant or maybe you make it at home, it's what you put on the baked potato, right? Like we just had baked potatoes the other night with chicken. It was great. And I like sweet potatoes. If you don't like sweet potatoes is a little bit healthier if you were to go with a potato is one of your favorite things, but there's nothing wrong with the baked potato. Everything is about portion size, right? And don't load it with the sour cream, the butter, the cheese. Just those three things, those are fat sources. Sour cream, butter, and cheese alone on top of a sweet potato. Nothing wrong with it, you guys. Portion size. You can enjoy little things like that. And that's where food tracking can be a pain. I'll be honest with you. It's something that not everybody wants to do forever, but food tracking also is one of the only things that will help you get to where you want to go. And then you can gradually wean off of it. But it's the only thing to really help you understand what you're eating as well, too. So there's nothing wrong with starchy carbs. I eat oatmeal every single morning. I I actually didn't have meal prep done yesterday. I was kind of like, oh, I was in one of those food emergencies that I always talk about. And I ended up making some eggs. I made some eggs and put it on a tortilla. Like I eat tacos with tortillas, you know, that's a starchy carb. So I think it's important for you to know what you can have, and then that's where macros come in, right? Because another thing of it is some people are so scared of the starchy carbs because they're think they're eating too many carbs. Have one a day, maybe two tops. Fill the rest of your carbs with your fruits and your veggies. Those are fibrous carbs. Those are really great. And that's another thing that I see out there. There's a lot of fad diets out there that, oh my gosh, you can't have fruit. I'm like, are you kidding me? You can't have fruit. Like you said, this is God food. God's food. A lot of this came out of the earth. That is like a big positive red flag. You can eat it. The less ingredients, and if there's no ingredients, that's even better when it comes to food and fat loss and just being overall healthy and being able to function. There's nothing wrong with starchy carbs. I personally say one a day, maybe two at most. Like I eat oatmeal every morning. I'm a creature of habit. I'm very boring. I eat the same things over and over. I do a protein shake or I do eggs in the morning coupled with oatmeal and a piece of fruit. Oatmeal and sometimes it's blueberries or strawberries. I'll throw in my oatmeal. It's so good. And it's covering the fiber too. So great question. Um, yeah, I love it. Yeah, I'm glad that you eat a sweet potato every day. I love sweet potatoes. I can have sweet potatoes every day. It's one of my favorites. And I put a little cinnamon on there and a little butter, and that's all I need, right? So don't be scared of the carbs, ladies. If that's your issue too, like I hope that got through for some of you guys as well too. And that's where balanced comes in, right? Because the problem that I see too is some women will go so drastically under carbs and but they're not compensating that with healthy fats either. So like fats and carbs are our body's fuel. The way we coach for fat loss is high protein, moderate carbs, lowish fat. And I say lowish, right? Like it's not drastically low because your hormones, your digestive system, your brain needs healthy fats as well. So you can't go so drastically low fat either on the whole other extreme. So I love it. Does anybody have any questions regarding that? Like I won't, I'll stop for a second if anybody has a question. You can put it in the chat if you're not comfortable talking, but um, there's one more thing that I'll share about nutrition that has to do with your gut health. It does help with fat loss, obviously, right? Our health, the healthier your gut is, the more your body is going to be able to absorb those great foods, maybe even the great supplements you're putting in your body, right? The healthy gut is going to also help you be able to focus better, have more brain energy and overall energy, less bloating, less all the things. And so, on the topic of carbs and fruits and veggies, if you're in a place where you can write it down, write this down. To the quickest way to a healthy gut with food, okay, is making sure that I 5 servings, put the number 5 servings of fruits and veggies a day, okay? And I'm not saying 5 fruits and 5 veggies. I'm taking 5 of total. So you can literally do 3 fruits and 2 veggies, or the opposite, right? 3 veggies if you're more of a vegetable person, or you could do 5 veggies for the day if you're not a veg. I've got one lady I coach and she don't like fruit. I'm like, oh girl, I love fruit. So I'm a sucker for fruit, but she doesn't really like it. So she eats 4 to 5 servings of veggies a day. So if you're in a place where you can write that down, write that down because it's so incredibly important. It's going to help take care of the carbs that your body needs. It's going to help incorporate fiber. Ladies, we need fiber on a fat loss journey, weight loss journey, or just to function and even just go to the bathroom regularly on a daily basis. We need fiber in our diet. And so I challenge you, if you get nothing else from today's call, track your protein. I want to challenge you, if you're not tracking food now, I highly recommend track your food, or just simply track what protein goes in your mouth. And if you're not sure what is a protein and what is not a protein, just get MyFitnessPal, the free version, track all your food. And if you're on this call and you're watching this and you actually accept my challenge, track your food for the whole week and send it to me. And I will personally do a food log review and give you some tips. I love it, Reagan. Add a serving to every meal and as a snack, and it helps get your fruits and veggies. Absolutely. Here's an example of my day personally. For fruits and veggies. I already told you pretty much what I eat every single morning: a protein shake or eggs and oatmeal with fruit. So my first fruit or veggie is blueberries or strawberries for breakfast. And then for a snack, almost always, I love Greek yogurt. So I do Greek yogurt in for like actually I kind of missed it. I meant to actually eat it before I got on this call, but I forgot. Just going from one thing to the next. So I typically do Greek yogurt and another piece of fruit usually. Sometimes like I have grapes. Today I'm gonna probably just do a handful of grapes. Love grapes. And my son does too, so they're always in my house. For lunch, I have some chicken, actually shredded chicken already made, and I'm gonna do a salad. I'm gonna put it with some salad. And then for my next snack, I do another snack. Once I get the kids from school, I'm getting them a snack. I get mama a snack, feeding me while I feed them. Protein shake and an apple is usually my always go-to. Sometimes I'll put some peanut butter on my apple, y'all. There's nothing wrong with that. And then for dinner, I'll throw another green veggie. I'm a big fan of green peas, whatever you like. And there's 5. So just put it in every, like Reagan said, 1 serving in each meal. And here's the other thing I'll say, and then I'm going to move on a little bit. I don't want to overwhelm anybody with too much information in one day. But the other piece of it, my brain just went, where was I going with that? Where's I going with that? My brain just went, where'd it go? I was going to say something else, and I can't remember. I don't know where it went. My thought just went out the building. So fruits and veggies, 1 serving every single meal. And I'll come back to whatever else I was going to say because now I can't remember. But the challenge to anybody that's watching this now live or replay is track your food for an entire week. Let's see what it looks like. And either post it in our free group and tag me or send it to me privately. And I would love to just do a food log review and give you some tips. And oh, I know what I was going to say. There, see, it came back to me. I was going to tell you. So take baby steps. If you don't eat fruits or veggies at all right now, 5 a day might seem very overwhelming to you. Start with 3. Okay, start with 3. It's going to be better than where you were. And then when you get consistent with that, you can always go to 4. And then you can go to 5 or stay at 3. You do you though. Okay. And I'm not saying that everybody needs 5 meals a day either. It's the other piece that I wanted to say. Like some people, 5 meals a day is overwhelming. Again, it's the point of doing you. You do you. Let's figure out what works best for you. As long as you're eating your macros, you can do it in 3 meals a day. Your meals just need to be a little bigger, or 4 meals a day, right? How many meals a day do you eat, Reagan?
I eat, I'm muted, sorry. Oh,
Oh,
I'm
you're
not
fine.
muted. I eat, I typically eat 3 meals a day and sometimes I snack. So 4. And if I have a snack, it's usually in the afternoon. Like you said, if I'm short on protein, then I'll do like a protein shake. If my husband's home, I'll share an RX bar with him because that will help me get my carbs in, but I can't eat a whole one. Um, so I mean, and it's a really good snack and it's satine. Like it almost feels like I'm eating a candy bar, but
Yeah,
it's got a little bit of everything in it. It's got some fat in it because it's got nuts in it, and then it's got dates in it for my carbohydrates, and it's got egg whites. So
love it.
um so that's kind of what I do. So if he's not home, I'll grab like maybe a handful of baby carrots. If I'm super crashing and I haven't had my brew and my gold, I'll usually do some carrots and my brew and gold at that time, or I'll have it with the RX bar if Wade's home. So yeah, I'm not, and that was one thing I wanted to say is that, Lori really had to hammer my macros, and so have you. I mean, it's been a struggle and it still is a struggle. And I've been coaching for almost 6 months, actually longer, almost because I rolled into 6 months. So I started baby steps, but I still struggle with meeting that fat and carbohydrate. And a lot of it is mindset, but I'm getting better. Before I wasn't even getting 50 grams of carbohydrates, and now I'm getting almost 100, or I'm getting over 100 now. And I learned that you need 120 grams just to live, basically, just to function. You taught me that. I've learned that in several of your talks.
Yeah.
So I try then. So eating more food has been a mindset shift for me, because the way that I saw it was the more I eat, the bigger I'm going to get, which is not the case at all. And I've noticed that that's not the case. So, yeah. So,
Yeah,
adding in that fourth thing was good for me.
I love it. Yeah, and that was the one other point that I wanted to really drive home today is, and another reason why I want to throw that challenge out to there to you. Track for an entire week, send it to me, or post it in our group, tag me. And I'm going to say that again, probably again and again on this call, because I've said it before and nobody's taken me up on it yet. And it's, and sometimes we don't want to see it. And I'll be honest with you, I've been there. Sometimes we don't want to really see how bad maybe our nutrition is. Or on the flip side of that, you may be doing so much better than you think. You may just need some small, tiny tweaks. You just may need more protein. You might need a little bit more carb or less carb. Everybody's kind of different, right? But the number one thing I will say, hands down, I cannot think right now over the last 3.5 years of all of our coaching that we've done, I can't think of one person that comes to my mind over these last 3.5 years that their problem was overeating instead of under. It's all most women right now in today's world, because of all of this programming in our brain around fad dieting and under eating and doing all those things, they're drastically under eating, and that's just where they're at. And then they're not hungry, so we're constantly saying like, I'm not hungry to eat more. Why would I eat more? Like, and it's because we've programmed our body not to be hungry. We programmed our body to undereat. And so we're not going to be hungry until you retrain your body and your mind and your stomach and all the things, your metabolism, most importantly. The number one thing that we see women doing and having the results that they finally want in fat loss, eating more. It's not about eating less, to be honest with you. In today's world, it's eating more and working out more intentionally, or for some women it's working out less. It just depends on what they're currently doing. Some women aren't doing anything at all right now fitness wise. And so on the fitness space of this, I want to share a few tips on that, and then I'm going to move into answering questions, and then I'll share what the programs look like as promised. But fitness wise, if you're not doing anything at all right now, here's my tip for you on that. Start just simply moving your body by going for walks. That's it. In order for you to get on a routine that's going to be something that you stick to and last, you've got to start small. We have to ditch that all or nothing personality because most women are all or nothing. I'm the same way. If somebody gives me a task, I'm going to go all in. And then if I do too much too fast, I'm burnt out in 2 weeks. I don't want to do it anymore. Right. And so if you're not doing any fitness routine right now whatsoever, I want to challenge you, and 10 minutes is my favorite thing to share. 10 minutes, 3 days a week to get you started. That's it. And prove to yourself that you can do that because that's going to build your confidence around it to the point where you can add more. If you go from zero to hero, meaning you're not working out at all and you go to 5 days a week, working out for an hour and maybe trying to walk, it's too much. It's too much for this up here. And your body might be like, holy crap, I'm so incredibly sore. I hate life. And now I just want to quit. Done. I don't want to do it anymore. Right. I can't tell you. I mean, many women have been there. And if you're watching now or on replay, you might be listening to me and like, yep, been there, done that a time or two. Right. So if you're not working out at all, start with 3 days a week, 10 minutes. That's it. If you can do more, great, but celebrate yourself the fact that you did 3 days a week, 10 minutes. Okay. Now, if you're already working out, but you're just not really kind of consistent, same thing. Get yourself on a routine. And maybe it's three, if you're not currently consistently doing 3 days a week, but maybe you're doing 1 day over here and 2 days over here, like, and it's just, but it's not consistent, then get yourself on a calendar for 3 days a week and gain consistency before you try to go to 4, 5, 6. Now, if you're already doing 3 days a week, maybe go to 4. That's it. Perfect. No worries. Thank you for joining, Michelle. We're going to send out the replay as soon as this is done, or as soon as we're done, we'll send it out. So just start small, baby steps. Okay. Baby steps with the workouts. If you're working out right now, then try to go, if you're working out consistently 3 days a week, go to 4. I think most of our clients are working out 4 days a week at max and then walking daily. That's it. You don't need to do a lot. You need to focus more on food and moving your body at a healthy pace versus overtraining, because that is a thing. Let's go to the question. I think we only had one really big question, which is a great one. I'm going to answer that, and then I will run through the program real quick, and then we'll wrap up. These calls are between 30 minutes to an hour tops, designed to definitely, I don't want to take up a ton of your time. So here's a question that we got that I think a lot of people can relate to. And her question was, wait, hold on. The only question I would have is how to get my mindset into working out when I am not in an exercise routine or don't physically work out, especially with winter coming. How do I get involved? How do I get motivated to start moving my body? I feel like I'm finally gaining control of my food. So next is incorporating exercise. So that's kind of a two-part question, and I want to break it down just a little bit. How do you get your mindset into working out? I just mentioned going baby steps. It's how you get your mindset in the right place is one thing. You can't go from zero to hero, or your mindset is your biggest thing that is not going to work because you're going to be overwhelmed and it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. Set yourself up for success when it comes to your goals for workouts first. And again, that's why I love 10 minutes. If you can prove to yourself that you can do consistently 10 minutes, 3 days a week at minimum, then you're going to gain your confidence and your motivation along the way. You're going to feel good about yourself and you're going to start becoming addicted about, oh, I feel really good. I did this, right? Or just the energy that you get from just going outside and walking. Now, I know it's getting cold outside, and I think that was part of your question, especially with winter coming. I'll be honest with you, I'm a wimp. I live in Texas. I hate the cold. I didn't get my workout in this morning, mostly because we had a mommy issue with my son again, but it's cold. I hate cold. So it's like I have to really talk myself into going outside. Bundle up is one answer, right? But if you're like me and you're like, oh God, I hate it, then if you don't have a step tracker, get a step tracker because you can shift your focus into, instead of like, I got to go outside and walk for 30 minutes, instead focus on the fact that I have a tracker. So like I love that you have a treadmill, Reagan. I actually told my husband the other day, I was like, I think our next investment is a treadmill because I got to get my walks in. It's like, it's just, I feel so much better when I do mentally. And I've missed a few lately. And I'm like, oh, God, might have to suck it up and get a treadmill. But the other piece of it is, though, I can't tell you how many times, like, not in this house, but in my old house, I remember chasing my kids around the house just so I could get a step goal. I would purposely play chase or hide and seek or something so that I could hit a step goal. Like my step goal daily is 8,500. I don't shoot for 10,000. My goal is 8,500 because I know some days that's a challenge for me because I sit it right here a lot. Um, it's not a challenge if I get a daily walk in. But if it's cold outside and you're struggling with going for a walk outside, that's my biggest piece of advice to you is get something for this is an Amazon fitness tracker that was like 40 bucks. And you don't have to have a fancy Apple Watch or Fitbit or whatever, but if you do have those things, phenomenal. You already got your tool that you need. Track your steps and head a step goal, and then do it when you're pacing the house. Do it with chasing the kids, or if you don't have small kids like some of us do, just pace your house. I will walk and I'll message people a lot whenever I'm walking around my house sometimes just to get up and move. So focus on a step goal instead of I need to get outside and walk for 30 minutes or whatever your number is. And then the last piece I'll say on that, and then I'll share the program with you guys. The last thing I'll say about that is when it comes to workouts and lacking the motivation for them, it's time to shift your mindset of why. Why do you want to work out? Is it to lose weight? Because if you're doing it just to lose weight, it's not going to be very motivating to you, especially if the scale's not moving as fast as you want it to. If you're only working out in order to because I have to lose weight, it's you may in the honeymoon phase at first it might be exciting, but then week 3, if you're still thinking I'm gonna go work out because I'm trying to lose weight, and the scale hasn't moved, it's not going to be very motivating to you at all. So we always love to teach you to shift your mindset around fitness and think, okay, I'm working out why? I always love to say 20% of your workout is how you look like on the outside. The 80% of it is about how you feel, how you function, and it's about your mental health. And when you shift and think about, okay, I'm going to work out today because mama needs to remove some of this stress I got going on, right? Or to put myself in a better mood. I work out at 5 a.m. You may not be, some of you are morning people like me. Some of you guys may not be. Why do I do that? One, because I love 5 a.m.s. Like I'm just naturally a morning person. I always have been. Um, and that's my me time. And I know that when I do work out, I'm better for the kids in the morning when they're getting up because sometimes that's a struggle to get them up. I want to be present and happy and at peace and calm as I'm getting my kids going because I know that I'm who sets the tone for their day. If I'm irritable and snappy and tired because I didn't get up and get my body moving at least before they woke up, I'm setting their tone to not have such a great day. And so you may not have kids, whoever's listening, like you may not have kids at that age that are in school anymore, but you still have to figure out who around you is served better because you worked out that day. And think of it like that. And then you're going to be a little bit more motivated to work out. So I know that was a really long answer to that question. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I would have is how to get my mindset into working out when I'm not in a workout routine or typically work out, especially when winter's coming. How do I get motivated to start moving my body? I feel like I'm finally okay. Yeah, I think I did. Baby steps, 10 minutes a day if you're not doing anything at all, and then grow from there. So sweet. All right, let's see. That was the only questions we had, right, Reagan? That was really about it so far. We'll get more and more as we do these
Yeah, I
regularly.
haven't had any other questions. I did propose one this morning, but she had to go to a mammogram, so she probably just missed that message. So
All good, all good. Well, cool. Well, so, okay, we've already been on 40 minutes. So I'm going to wrap up with the program. As promised on these calls on Friday, it's also very important for us to, oops, here comes Marietta back. Let me see if she has a question. I'm going to share. Okay. So that's all the questions we had. If there's more questions, drop them in the comments and I'll definitely answer. We're going to wrap up here shortly. Marietta, I know you're back. We're going to do these every Friday, but at the end of it, our goal again is to educate you on what we do offer because I know we get questions all the time. And so today I am going to walk through two programs that we have. to educate you guys. And if at the end of this, any of you are watching and you're like, okay, I would like to actually talk a little bit more detail about that, or maybe I just want to sign up. I know I need help, so it's time for me to invest in me. Then get back with us, get us a message. Um, oh my gosh, the school keeps calling me. Hold on I don't want to pause this. Hold on one second. Hello. Yeah, okay. Now I've got a puking little girl at school. I got to go in a minute. All right, I'm going to run through this really quick. I'm so sorry, whoever's watching this on replay. Not my intention to run through it crazy, crazy, crazy fast, but now I got to go get my little girl from school while she's throwing up. Luckily, we live like 3 minutes from here. Mom life, y'all. She's going to be real and raw in these calls.
Hey,
So,
this is Marita.
yeah, go for it. What's up, girl?
So, hey, real quick, will the replay be in the group? Because I missed it. I had to take a phone call. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I'll post the replay in the group. I'm also going to send it out to y'all via email as well, just to cover both places.
Perfect. Thank you, Angela.
You're welcome, girly. All right, so again, super quick while I go get my little girl. So what is included? We have two programs that I want to share with you guys really fast today. One, well, they're both referred to as the Fat Loss and Mindset Reset program. And why do we call it that? Is because if you've heard anything that we've shared today, you'll recognize like a lot of this journey to lose fat is about both. You've got to shift your mindset throughout the process of a fat loss journey, or it's not going to work, right? It's not going to be something that turns into a lifestyle, which is what I know everybody wants, right? So really quick, we've got 4 phases. That is our goal. Every woman that goes through our program, our main program is 6 months, although we do have an intro, which I'll share with you in a second. But our main goal over this fat loss journey is to be able to take each woman through all 4 phases. Some women do get through all 4 in 6 months, and some do not. Some women take a lot longer. It depends on a lot of factors. But first, there's a fat loss phase. We give you your nutritional goals to shoot for. And here's the thing, your body will only respond to that fat loss goal for so long. And once you kind of plateau and your body stops responding, or if you've been on that lower calorie for a certain amount of time, you got to reset. A reset phase is what we take you through for a few weeks, and then we go back to the fat loss. And we do that until we get you to where you want to be. And then we teach you how to maintain it. And then our goal is to wing everybody off of tracking, because nobody wants to track for the rest of their life. Okay. So that's really quickly what that looks like. You don't have to do anything except for trust us, trust the process, and then do what we ask you to do, because we know it'll work, right? 6-month fat loss to mindset program. In the program, you get your one-on-one custom nutrition roadmap. Take all the guessing out of how much to eat, no restrictive meal plans, no missing family functions, vacations, Thanksgiving, y'all. That's about to be here before we know it. Goodness. One-on-one fitness custom plan with video guidance. Again, there's no more thinking, no more going to YouTube, finding random workouts every single day. We're customizing your workout plan for you, so that you're not wasting your time trying to figure it out, right? And we have our Fitmama app, which I'll show you in a second what it looks like. Exclusive VIP access. Those of y'all watching this, you're in our free group. We have our VIP group, which is just for the ladies that we coach. We pour a lot more into that group. We do some trainings and different things. So, and you're supported by the most amazing women in the world, in my personal opinion. Maybe I'm partial, but some of the most amazing women in there are lifting each other up, praying for each other when they need prayer, or just supporting each other, sharing recipes and all that stuff. Weekly group coaching sessions, mindset strategies to unlearn negative programming with dieting, which is so many things that a lot of women are focused or stuck in that programming, right? This you have, okay, so we do periodically different challenges and classes and things. We've got more coming up our sleeve that we'll share soon, but you get access to all those things when you're coaching with us. You don't pay extra for anything. And the biggest value, in my personal opinion, is the one-on-one accountability coach. You've got someone in your corner 24/7. except when they sleep, obviously, and or when they're with their family time, obviously. But they're there for you 7 days a week that you can reach out to, and you don't have to. I've heard horror stories of women joining programs, and they're like, I had to send an email to get a question answered, and 3 days later, I got an answer, and the answer was like 6 paragraphs long, and then it was overwhelming. I didn't want to read it. That's not what we do here. It's a one-on-one human person that will hop on a one-on-one call like this with you throughout your program, or phone calls, or whatever you need. So that's probably the biggest value, I will say. You get some one-on-one calls with your coach as needed. Some food log reviews as needed as well, which will go into your food logs, give you that feedback. Daily checklist that looks like this over on the right. This is literally one of our girls' apps. Or her app that shows all of the things that she's working on to give you that checklist if you're a checklist person. And so pricing wise, I'm just going to share it all out loud because it's the question that we always get. And so where's it? There it is. So the pricing, and then I got to run and go get my girl. Where is it? What are the prices? So again, there's 2 options that you can do. Most women jump right out of the gate and go right into 6 months, but not everybody, right? And so 6 months is our sweet spot to help women get really great, phenomenal results, but change your mindset in the process and get that foundation set up. 6 months of one-on-one coaching right now. Okay. Right now, what we're doing is we're offering, you can do 6 month at 6 payments of $399 a month. Will cover your 6 months program. Or we do offer a pay in full discount. Some of you guys decide to pay in full, or you hate payments, or you want to save money. Right now, it's only $2,000. You guys, that covers all of 6 months, which is honestly what we used to charge that for 3 months back in the day. And we've made a lot of changes with the mission to help more women. So if that's something that's interest you, get back with me, get back with Reagan, and we can talk more about it. Now, I did tell you we had one more option, so I want to share it. Some women, maybe they're not quite ready for that big of an investment, or some women just want to get their feet wet with us as coaches. I know that might sound kind of weird, but if you don't fully know us yet, right? And you're like, oh, 6 months is such a long commitment, right? Some women will choose to go. This is what Reagan did, right? 6-week fat loss program first. It's $429, or you can break that up into payments if you need it. 6 weeks of intro, and then we visit again at the end of 6 weeks to know where you're at and what you want to do from there. So message us or book a call. If you choose to do the 6 month, man, we're going all in. If you choose to do the 6 week, we're still going all in. It's everything that you get in the 6 months. It's just in 6 weeks. It's just the 6-week part of it. And then at the end of 6 weeks, you'll know what you want to do. And if you choose to actually just kind of merge into the 6 months and keep going, we apply what you paid already for the 6 week into the 6 months and then figure out the payment wise. So anyway, biggest thing, I'm going to wrap it up here. If it's something that you're interested, definitely reach out. And know that every Friday we're going to do these types of calls. Next week, we're going to do something else. I'll share a different fat loss tip. If you got questions, definitely ask. And we will also, next week, we're going to cover some products. So if product is something you're interested in, definitely let us know. And that's it. Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you, Reagan. Thank you, Marietta. Thank you, Michelle, that was on earlier, and a couple other ladies that had to hop off. And whoever else watches the replay. Y'all have an amazing day. Thank you, Reagan.